Hello, and welcome to this month's Fire Chiefs video message for December 2016. With me this month is Cindy Ramsey, Steve Lickman from the First Aid Unit. Welcome.
Hi.
Good morning.
What is the First Aid Unit?
So the First Aid Unit is an Explorer Post. It's Explorer Post 742, sponsored by Wheaton Volunteer Rescue Squad. We're a youth organization where we train youth from age 14 to 21 as emergency medical responders. And they go out into the community and provide emergency medical care, providing standby first aid care at events.
So, Explorer Post, is that related to Boy Scouts of America? Where is that affiliation?
It's part of Boy Scouts of America, yes.
Okay.
So the Exploring program of Boy Scouts is a career-oriented program. So there are different Explorer posts in the area that are related to a specific career topic.
Okay.
And our specific career topic is EMS.
So when was the First Aid Unit created, and how long has the unit been in Montgomery County?
We were founded in 1962. We were originally part of the Montgomery County Red Cross. It was a youth program there. We served there until 1995 when we left Red Cross and became an Explorer Post, and we were sponsored by Kensington Volunteer Fire Department. In 2014, we switched from Kensington, and now we are sponsored by Wheaton Volunteer Rescue Squad.
Okay. And you said 14 to 21. What are the parameters for membership?
The youth members have to be 14 or about to turn 14 and have graduated from 8th grade or are about to graduate from 8th grade. So basically high school students.
Okay. And what type of frequency and training cycle or membership meeting cycle do you have for?
We have meetings every 2 weeks on Sunday nights at Rescue 2. There is an emergency medical responder class that we run once a year that runs on Sundays for about 16 weeks. We also have orientation training classes which are shorter than that. Our meetings also include training sessions, so there's a lot of training that goes on over the course of the year as well as the actual classes.
So the folks, when they finish or as they progress into the First Aid Unit, they obtain emergency medical responder certification. That's one level below EMT, is that right?
Below EMT.
Correct.
Okay, so that's equivalent to the old first responder.
Yeah.
Okay. How does the First Aid Unit utilized for events? You were describing what events does the First Aid Unit support at, and what's on your horizon in the next couple weeks or months?
Well, we do a lot of events in the county. We do company picnics. We do charity runs, we do scout events, and we provide standby first aid for those. We also provide support for the National Park Service in Washington, D.C., so we go down for major events that happen in the district, such as the 4th of July on the Mall, the National Christmas Tree Lighting, which we just finished, and the Cherry Blossom Festival and the White House Easter Egg Roll.
Okay.
We also have our big event coming up in that we support the Park Service and other federal authorities for the presidential inauguration. So we'll be covering Inauguration Day as well as a pre-inaugural event that will be happening prior to that.
And what's the membership of the First Aid Unit average, or what is it at today? And how many folks do you have engaged?
Right now we have 48 youth members.
Okay.
We have 10 adult members. Who are what we call those advisors. So there's always at least one adult present on every activity. The youth do the bulk of the first aid, but there's always an adult that's present, and all those adults are emergency medical responder or higher trained.
Okay. And how does the First Aid Unit interface with and benefit MCFRS?
Well, what we provide is we provide a lot of training for the kids, get them into the idea of having rank structure. We have our own youth rank, have them in the idea of following orders and following commands, and that gets them ready to join fire departments because they already have the general idea of how things work. Many of our members go on to join Rescue 2, to join Wheaton. They do join other departments. Some of our members live in other parts of the county, so they'll join some of the other LFRDs near where they live. And then there are quite a few who have gone on to become career firefighters and medics in Montgomery County or in other jurisdictions. I'm sure there are people who are watching now who will recognize that and say, hey, I started off in the first aid unit. There's a lot of people in the career service right now who got their start, career and volunteer service, who got their start in the first aid unit.
You want to share any pictures of any of those as we flash past? But
we
talked offline about a few of those.
They may or may not want the pictures
right.
Shown. Some
we'll
of them may be
a
little more embarrassing than others. So
we'll give you at least one good one.
No problem. One of the things we talked about, and I get how did you recruit your advisors, your adult advisors, and what would an adult advisor candidate look like if someone was interested in being?
For us, we're trying to reach out to the other departments to get more people in that have an EMS background. It's been traditionally word of mouth, but we need to get some new people in to replace those of us who are getting gray. And we're trying to get the word out as to how great an experience it is. It's wonderful to watch these kids come in as young, typical high schoolers and learn teamwork and learn how to go in and provide the care and grow into a young budding EMS professional. And what we hear the most from the department, from Wheaton, is that they work so well with the other team members, which is not typical of their standard recruit. So we're hoping that if we can get the word out to some of the departments in the county, anywhere in the area, of people who like to teach, that are good with youth, and really enjoy a challenge, that they come on in and give us a hand. It's very rewarding.
And you probably have some social media presence, and you have a Facebook or website.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And people have references. Is there recruiting information or opportunity information for how to contact you and
mm-hmm.
how to come and join the first aid unit?
We have a Facebook page that
okay.
has good information on it. We have a web page, and if anybody likes designing web pages and they want to make it good, we'll take that help too. So we'll give you that.
What is what's one of the other questions that, as I ask all my guests to come with questions that we talk about and then come with questions that you throw my way. What were the questions that you all in the first aid unit, wanted to throw my way?
Well, I think one of the things we were looking for is what are some other opportunities that might be available for the first aid unit to participate in, where we could benefit Montgomery County Fire Rescue and provide some educational opportunities for our youth. And I'll give you an example. We have helped with disaster drills in the past by our folks being some of the victims for the disaster drills. I'm wondering if there are other things that either DFRS or the LFRDs might have that they'd be interested in having us participate in that might be beneficial for our youth to learn.
And it's definitely a point, because as we talk about the ability to provide service on street delivery or events, mm-hmm. as you articulate some of the standby activities that you are reoccurring events, some of those as well on smaller scale happen here mm-hmm. within the county, be it the festivals at the fairground, be it running the parks, or the other run, marathon, and biking activities that occur. That could be a venue or a mechanism. The other half, as you said, Steve, is planned events or participants in training exercises. As we look to having victim simulations or participants and role players, clearly that's something that is always available. And while the person may have a better understanding of how the patient would actually be treated, they also have a better understanding of how the patients would actually be acting. Mm-hmm. So the question I would ponder, and I'll take back, is to look at the Office of Emergency Management and Homeland Security as they work with developing drills, as we work with what's traditionally we refer to as CERT, the Community Emergency Response Team, and how they interface at some point with participants or role players in drills. There's an opportunity for the first aid unit in the same fashion to support. So you're right, there's a couple different ways that are possibilities to expand what the first aid unit delivery of service, as well as the training opportunities and the exposure opportunities. So that's a good point, and I'd like to work more into that.
Plus, remember that we come with our own makeup artists. we
were using those this morning, and they said there was no hope for a couple of us. So, yeah.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what years of adventures go for.
Yes,
indeed.
absolutely.
What do you see on what are, just because I wanted to loop back because we were talking offline, what are some of the other Explorer units in the county? What type of professions or topic traits do they do?
There are other Explorer posts that are part of scouting. There is a veterinary Explorer post sponsored by a veterinary center. There is a culinary post sponsored by Marriott, where the kids learn cooking and chef skills and things related to restaurant management. I know there is a rocketry Explorer post at the Goddard Space Flight Center. And of course, there is a very active law enforcement Explorer post sponsored by Montgomery County Police. Okay. Police Explorers are very active throughout the area.
I think the only other big one is Lockheed Martin has an engineering.
Engineering? Excellent.
They do some robotics. And
so.
In addition, other counties do have firefighting Explorer posts where individual departments sponsor an Explorer post. Of course, we're more EMS oriented than fire, but there are posts that are far more fire oriented, where they're actually providing some of the firefighting introductory training.
Yep, and as we talked about, we have the Gaithersburg JFB and Junior Fire Brigade, which has a little bit of a touch there. One of the things that some of us remember, those that are a little dated, remember the high school cadet program.
Yes.
We actually had meetings within this last week with Dr. Smith and his folks about resurrecting that.
Oh, that would be great.
Bringing it back. It may be the 18-19 school year for MCPS, because they have to do a lot of pre-planning to get it onto their academic options and have it publicized. But yeah, trying to bring that back as a school-based option.
Oh, that's where I started.
MCPS. So we're looking at that as another tie to broadening, students and youth's involvement in, FRS in a broader sense. So a lot of good stuff on that perspective.
That's great.
So
youth are really where you need to get started.
Yeah.
This is, if you start kids getting oriented to this and learning how this works at a young age, they'll get into the program and stay in the program longer. So anything that benefits teens is a good thing.
And we've exploded over the past 2 years. In general, our membership at its high was around 30 kids. And like Steve said, now we're at 48 kids. So there's definitely an interest in the county.
Okay. And you feel most of that's through networking and kid-to-kid information exchange?
To some extent, yeah, we have a lot of that, and then we reach out sometimes to the schools when they have the community service fairs, where they can figure out where to get their hours.
So
and
first aid unit count as hours?
Yeah.
SSL hours?
Yes. Yeah, we do have a rather strict requirement.
Okay.
You do have to finish. You have to finish your probationary training, which involves getting your at least base certifications, professional CPR, first aid, bloodborne pathogens. Go through the basics of orientation with the equipment, do enough standbys, and then once you come off probation, you get all of your community service hours back to the first day that you join.
Okay.
But until you finish, you don't get any community service hours. So we have a special agreement with the schools. If it runs over to us, another semester, they can turn them in late because of our requirements.
So reasonable to have it not pay as you go.
Yes.
More of pay the bank and then get your payment.
Yeah.
So very, very interesting. And as a assistant scoutmaster with 2 first-class scouts and a troop, definitely fully aware of the fun and unique opportunities that Boy Scouts of America offers.
Mm-hmm.
And glad to have you come. Glad
Mm-hmm.
to have the fact that Wheaton, Kensington, and I remember the ARC days down on East West Highway of
Yep.
the first aid unit. That it has such a great legacy of support to Montgomery County. So.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks for showing and
Very
coming
good.
to the table and sharing information about the first aid unit.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you
us.
for having
So
us.
hopefully, and I can't say this is truthfully the case, but 88 recruits started at the academy just this week. Recruit class 41 started. Been a little bit of a time since we had a recruit class in session. They're the biggest recruit class
I saw
with,
it, yeah.
with 88 folks.
88's a lot, yeah.
They are the first. We've been at the academy for actually just about a month now. So they're the first fire recruits to be at the academy, and the first class that'll be from the new academy. It's open. It's moving along.
Great.
The folks there are taking. It'll take a long time to get settled into such a big facility, and after being at a place for almost 50 years,
Yeah.
moving into another facility, you'll still have boxes of stuff being unpacked for a few more weeks or months to come. But the recruit class 41 is great to see there at the academy. As we're dealing with the time of the year, we're talking about how the cold and maybe some snow will be coming this next couple of days. There's no doubt that winter is here. We're dealing with a little stubborn situation up at Martinsburg with the trash fire at the refuge resource recycling facility, and that's just a demonstration of the problems we have with the winter season. Freezing situations, alternative heat source situations, fires from fireplace ashes or space heaters, just all those concerns we get during the cold spell. And as we talk about everyone coming to work hydrated and ready for the summertime, everyone has to come to work ready for the cold. While it's different stuff each of us needs, we all need to be ready to go out and get cold and wet, and then be able to redress and stay back warm. So everyone has to come to work and come to their standby and their duty night, ready to go from the perspectives of the right personal equipment.
Wear your layers, lots of layers.
Right frame of mind to be able to engage. So definitely fun adventures in the wintertime. So
Indeed.
you all are not going to be followed by anybody on the chair. There's no one who else has stepped up and ready to sit in the chair next to me. So I make my request again to everyone. We're moving over a little bit in a year and a half to the videos process now. Anybody interested in bringing a topic to the table? Anybody interested in bringing questions to the table? Talking about a part of MCFRS or a part of the community? Please feel free to come to the table. Give me an email. Let's talk about the topics. As you see, we talk about the parts of MCFRS, how they support the community, and the community supports the other organizations. So everybody's interested, everybody's welcome. Please feel free to come and join us here in the studio. Till next month's video, as I said, take care, be safe, stay warm.